Hello, everyone. This is Suman Agarwal. So, here is our new episode on philosophy, which is dissecting wellness philosophy, one conversation at a time. So, today we have gorgeous Tina Kakkar with us, who is firstly a mom, a blogger of the Image Code, luxury fashion lifestyle coach, and co founder of Bridal Affair India.
Hi, Suman. Thank you for having me here.
So, Tina, I always believe that if you are healthy, like you don't have any aches and pains, and you're on top of your game in your health, it really helps you to create, work better, enjoy your work better. What is your thinking, and vice versa, when you're not healthy and you still have to work? What impact does it have in your creativity?
So, I definitely agree. It's not my career or yours, it's every career. Health is first. Health is first. Your family's health is first. So, eating healthy, sleeping well, having a balanced lifestyle. Of course, you also party. You must balance that out. But it's very important to have that philosophy in your life because if you feel good, you look good and you also feel better emotionally and you're way more creative like you said. So I definitely feel like health is first before everything. So whether it's a good day or a bad day, I wake up and I do my workout no matter what because it makes me feel good. Even if it's a stretch, even if it's some yoga, it makes me feel good. And the endorphins that get released when you do that, it's like nothing else in the world. So this is what I believe in, and I feel like wellness comes first.
Wow, I don't like that's so good that you're working out first thing in the morning almost every day of your life.
Yeah.
This is what my dad taught me at as young as 12 years old. I remember there was a book fair.
Mm-hmm.
So in Calcutta, every year we have book fairs, and Calcuttans always go to the book fair. That's a
Mm-hmm.
done thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when I was 12, I went to the book fair and I picked up a book of Jane Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after that day, I have exercised almost every day of my life, unless I'm traveling or unless something is happening or I'm extremely, extremely busy. So that's how the exercise has gotten imbibed in our life. So I am so happy that you pointed out that no matter what, you will exercise in the morning if everything is okay. And that gives you the energy to sort of go through the day with everything. What about uh, you are not well and still you have to work? So, what lacunas do you find in your work then?
So, with what I do, it is physically challenging. It also is dependent on another person's time. As much as people think that I work for myself and it's easy, I do have timelines, I have projects, I have to show up no matter what. So, it is hard. But if I personally think that if I live a better lifestyle, which I try to at all times, I don't get sick that often.
Oh,
So, I mean, this is something I've seen with everyone around me, with my parents, with everyone around me, is because lifestyle, if a lifestyle is beautifully orchestrated with good food, great sleep, that one day off on Sunday, everything that you do that makes you happy, then you don't get sick that often. And with what I do, I can't afford to get sick
you
that often. I'm sure even you understand that, right?
exactly. That's what I tell everyone that I can't afford to fall sick. So, I have to eat my meals on time. I can't have larger gaps. I can't afford a low immunity in my life because I have to sleep, I have to eat on time, I have to make sure I have take my proteins at
Yeah.
every meal.
Yeah.
So this is how I also believe. In fact, just to let you know how the whole nutrition journey started for me is also because of that. I realized that I was literally falling sick every 3 months from the age I was 1 year old till
Wow.
I did my nutrition studies.
Wow.
Every 3 months I had to take antibiotics, cold,
Oh,
cough, tonsils.
okay.
Yeah. So I did my nutrition studies only for this because I just didn't want to fall sick. I was sick of falling sick. So, and of course, I've come a long way now from falling sick once in 3 months. Now it's like once in a year.
Wow, wow. And that's all because of the life you lead, right? The way
Yeah.
you live every day, that's what matters. So I just feel like that is so important and definitely hope more people can follow that.
Yeah. And I see the influencers, you keep hearing news always that this influencer has got this disease, and you, I'm sure you are also listening to this. And I'm
Mhm.
so happy that you are putting health first. So this is so that you can continue to do great work, good work, inspire people throughout your journey, right?
Definitely. I have a little baby at home. I want to make sure that I'm healthy and happy around him all the time. So, I mean, even as a mother, whether you're working or not working, as a mother, I think what a child sees in the mother and father is what they pick up. So, that's the reason I'm healthy all the time.
So if I would ask you what is your so exercise every day and you sleep, sleep is a priority which
Mhm.
people don't believe, and that's why I wear this ring to track my sleep.
Wow.
This is my fitness in one ring.
Wow.
So it's Aura ring which I've been using since last 4 years.
Okay.
So track my sleep.
Okay.
Okay. What is what do you eat on a daily basis? Just like, what are your priorities? How do you like? What is your daily routine of eating?
So, this is the way I like to lead my week in, like, through the entire week. I like to eat home cooked meals and clean home cooked food, because I feel there's nothing more healthier than that. Whether it is your dal roti, sabji, which I like to have with my millets or my jawar bajra roti. I do avoid gluten because it doesn't work for me. I do avoid bread, sugar a lot, because I mean, I've realized over the years that they're not great for your skin,
Of
your
course.
hair. Learn so many tips from you. Lots of vegetables, more protein. Try and do low carb, not no carb, because that affects my gut. So through the week, I keep this routine in my house, of course, for me and my husband. Of course, on the weekend, we binge. We also enjoy. It's important. Like I said, balance. We are young,
Yeah.
so we also have our moments then. But then it's very important to balance the very next day. And workout is something I swear by. Maybe at times I overdo it, but I need to hit the gym or do some sort of movement 6 times a week.
That's why you have this glow on your face. It's all worked out and nice, sweated out glow.
Depends, yeah, but it makes me feel so good mentally, and I think I also sleep better the day I have
Yes.
done some sort of movement, whether it's swimming, whether it's a walk, a long walk. But I think that's what keeps you on track
On
also,
track.
because you sleep better because you want to wake up that morning and do that workout. So um, that's just the way I like to live.
Lovely. So, during your, when you're pregnant, what did you learn from self care during that whole period of pregnancy? So, which you would like to share?
I got pregnant, and the biggest fear I had then was that I'm going to gain so much weight that I'll never lose it. Because maybe there were people around me who had that. And then I also saw the others who lost it immediately and looked so fabulous. I met you and I met your team. You guys guided me. Even this was during COVID, where we never even met one on one, and we did our Zoom calls and our Google Meets, where you explained to me that how one should eat in a more balanced way. What are those great colored vegetables your child needs for their growth? And whatever you do, make sure that you're not overeating, which is, I remember you kept bringing that up, is you do not need to eat for two people. And this is something I learned over those days. Lots of people think that when you're pregnant, this is when you should binge, because this is your 9 months of your life. But guys, if you binge, you're going to have a harder time losing it later. But of course, the healthy food is important, the nuts, the fruits, which we also did a lot. So definitely the pregnancy went through so smoothly because of the fact that, of course, it was easier for me because of the health also, but I could work out and I could eat well. So
Yeah, you were a fab follower, and you were really did a good job during your pregnancy.
yeah,
Touch wood.
it was actually not bad. And I feel like if you're a fit girl, no matter what, I mean, definitely it's a little bit more easier than not being fit. So
Yeah.
that's what helped.
So, Tina, there are many people who get inspired by you. Would you like to share something they could do in terms of self care, in the sense taking care of themselves when entering your field, or some tips to them in
So
what
that
you would
feels
like to
actually
share?
great, and this is something I want to ask you. That I mean, I feel like in terms of self care, just consistency is key. Maybe just keep yourself balanced. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't crash diet your way into anything. So that's the only thing that's worked for me. I'm just a consistent human being in
Oh,
everything.
so perseverance.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
give up, no matter
and
what.
keep your focus on the goal. Like,
Yeah.
you want to just do better, live better, and give the best to the world.
Yeah, definitely. Every day you want to be a better and thing. And every day I just ask myself, am I doing something new every day?
Oh.
Which is, especially with what I do, it adds.
That's what people don't realize. To keep your brain young, even, and now I'm so much older, I have to learn new things. I realize.
Don't look it 1 minute.
So I've realized the only way you can keep your brain alive for longer, for till the time at least you live, is to keep learning new things in life.
Definitely. Whether
So I've just picked up learning dancing again.
you're such a fabulous dancer. I saw your videos. I've seen you dance at your daughter's weddings. Such a beautiful dancer. I think dance is such a great form of exercise. It's the most happiest feeling in the world.
You know, I agree. One thing I'll tell you about dancing, which people don't realize, it's not only that you are dancing. I'm talking about people who are elderly, yeah, like me, or who are going to become like
Elderly?
60,
Excuse me,
70.
who's
No, I'm
elderly
young,
here?
young, elder. So I realized that why it is important for your brain. Imagine dance is important because, you know, when you are dancing, you have to maintain your emotions, your expression, and you have to remember the steps. So it's such a good exercise for the brain, and at the same time you have to convert that into your movements, and you have to remember your placing.
Yeah.
So a dancer is always going to have a longer like a fit life, and also a productive life, because their brains are going to be still
Definitely.
working
They're
well.
moving, they're creating art. It's so beautiful and it's so much fun. I mean, I love dancing. I danced all through my pregnancy till the last day. Huh?
I didn't know this.
I danced every day, doors shut, music on, and I danced. And sometimes my mom saw me do that and she got so scared. She said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Mom, once a dancer, always a dancer. I love
Aw.
dancing."
You know, I forgot to tell you that I remember whenever we went to a party together, which happened so many times, I
Yeah.
used to only watch you and copy you.
You're
The
so
dance steps,
good.
you were so good.
You're so good. Now I see the dancing in my son.
Oh, that's
Because
so nice.
I think he got it from me when he was in the womb.
Yeah, great. That's good. So good to know. So let's do some fun myth busting for our audience. One is like, suppose if I tell you to choose avocado on toast or egg and toast.
Avocado and egg.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would take.
That's a good one. I'll tell you why. Because you know, avocado and toast is actually carbs and fat and carbs. So avocado is full of carbs and fats, and toast is carbs
Yeah.
and fat because you put butter. So you are actually having carbs and carbs. But if you have eggs with avocado or eggs with toast, it's a balanced meal.
Definitely.
Because people don't realize, they think they can replace avocado with eggs, which is the wrong thing to do.
It's
Very
definitely
little protein.
not that satisfying, but I avoid bread as much
Bread,
as
that's
I can.
right. So Tina, would you like to start your day with a fruit? Do you think that's ideal?
So if I had it my way, yes, because I'm a big fruit eater, but I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't think after a fast you should start with a sugar or a carb. Please
Wow.
correct me.
Yes, I think thank you for saying that, because the whole world thinks that eating fruit first thing in the morning is the best thing.
Oh, really?
It's actually absolutely opposite. It ruins your gut. It decreases all your gut flora and fauna. The bacteria gets washed out, and your digestive system actually becomes weaker. Also, you get a sugar spike. If you are pre-diabetic, or you are like, you know, if you have it in your genes, you'll accelerate towards becoming a diabetic.
Oh
That's
my
how bad
God.
it is. So fruits are best to be had with a meal, after a meal, in between meals, but never empty stomach.
Interesting.
So, Tina, do you think the best way to lose weight or control your weight is to avoid carbs for dinner?
So I'm definitely not an expert and I would ask you this, but when I did it for a long time, of course, advised by a few trainers that have only protein for dinner and maybe some leaves or vegetables with it, it started affecting my gut. Where I felt like this is not taking me forward, it's taking me behind. Where I got to a level where my gut went for a toss and I could not even work out then.
Oh.
So it was actually not the best thing. So I started eating more balanced meals at night. Low carb is what helps me the most. Maybe replacing the carb with a quinoa or something that just satisfies my soul, my body, my gut, and just decreasing the carb intake. Of course, on nights I can do it, have a soup and chilla. I do that also, but there is some carb there.
Some carbs, yeah.
But I
The
would love to know.
chilla is also rich in carbs, by the way. That's why you don't mind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the all pulses are double carbs than protein. Suppose 25 of grams of raw moong dal or chole or rajma
Oh, okay.
has 6 grams of protein. It has 11 to 12 grams of carbs.
Interesting. Wow. But I mean, yes, at times I do avoid carbs, but I never go off carbs.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't work for me.
I'm so happy you're saying that, Tina. You know, it also impacts your sleep, because you are I have seen many a times. It's not that we don't give low carb for dinner, maybe 2-3 times in a week we do, but totally omitting for a very long period of time impacts your quality of sleep.
Wow.
So we prefer adding carbs, low carb, as you mentioned, exactly what you're doing, we like to do.
Wow, thank you. So now I want to ask you a few myths and burst my myths, because I feel like there's so many questions I have about health and wellness all the time. So glad to be with you here. So what do you think about brown rice versus white rice?
I like white rice, so I always eat white rice. I eat limited quantity, and of course, it spikes your sugar. So, brown rice is always health wise better, taste wise, white rice.
But brown rice is better. Okay. So sweetener or refined sugar? What do you recommend?
So, brain does not get tricked with sweeteners. So, it still keeps asking for sugar. So, people who start taking sweeteners, they ultimately end up eating a dessert. So, I tell them, you'd rather take 2 teaspoons of sugar in your tea coffee. And if you are going to reach out for a dessert, because that would be at least 100 to 200 or
Yeah.
maybe 300 calories. So we always allow, because we all have grown up from childhood eating some sugar in our tea, coffee, beverages, etc. So 2 teaspoons is max one should take in a day. And otherwise monk fruit or stevia is good to go, but not others.
Okay. I try to be off sugar, but in my coffee and tea. But at times I know that I do crave that cookie or biscuit.
Exactly.
This is what
So-
now I know.
You will end up eating a cookie which will be 100 calories and full of fat and maida and etc.
So what do you believe in, dairy or no dairy?
Dairy, of course, especially for vegetarian, because that's the only source of cholesterol they get. Cholesterol is important for the brain functioning, for absorbing vitamin D. I know one gentleman who used to run every day on race course in blaring heat and sun, and his D3 was literally close to nil
Okay, wow.
because he had zero cholesterol in his diet. Never used butter, never used ghee on his chapati, and fat-free milk and fat-free dahi, everything fat-free. And imagine where he reached. So, in absence of cholesterol, you can't absorb D3.
Wow.
So, imagine how important it is. And of course, forget about the cholesterol part. Milk, curd, paneer, cheese are the only sources of first class protein for vegetarians. So if they omit, imagine they're not getting first class protein, and they can have a lot of other deficiencies which are dependent on protein. For example, their gut could become weak, they will have thinner hair, hair fall, immunity will go down, your globin will fall, so they will become anemic. So many things are involved with muscle loss and aches and pains, everything associated with that. So I always believe in dairy, but I am lactose intolerant, but I do have curd and paneer and some hard cheese.
Oh, nice. Okay, good to know.
And you, do you eat dairy?
So I can't handle milk just like you, but I also have a lot of yogurt. So I
Okay.
think I can balance it there.
Super.
And I'm a non-vegetarian, so that's
Okay, yeah.
that helps. Actually, you brought out ghee and oil. Now I want to ask you, because this is something your mother will fight with you about, ghee khao. Now what is it, ghee or oil or olive oil? Like, I'm so confused about this.
So, this question I'm always asked at every lecture which I give. So, if you are having dahi every day, so say you are having 200-300 ml of curd in a day, that will itself have at least 2 to 3 teaspoons of ghee. It has hidden fat, right? It's cholesterol. So if you are having curd or cheese or paneer, then you don't need to necessarily add ghee to your khana, because that's covered. Or if you're having one whole egg. Yeah. But oil is something which we don't get if you are vegetarian. We need to use oil for our tempering our food, where the vegetarians get it from fish, which is PUFA, and chicken, which has cholesterol and SFA. But vegetarians don't get the PUFA. So they have to temper their food with oil, and a regular oil, not olive oil, because olive oil does not have PUFA. It only
Okay.
has MUFA, which is monounsaturated fatty acid.
Okay.
So our body requires some amount of PUFA, some amount of MUFA and SFA. Actually, the ratio should be around 1:1:1.
Okay.
So you get monounsaturated fatty acid which comes from olive oil, even nuts. Nuts are rich in
Oil,
this, and
yeah.
most of the oils also have some part of monounsaturated fatty acids. So the best thing to do is maybe use little butter on your toast, a little ghee on your chapati if you're having yogurt, very little, and temper your food with oil, which could be peanut oil, sunflower oil, rice bran oil, any of these oils, which
Okay.
Indian cooking requires high temperature. So make sure you don't choose an oil which does can't take high temperature.
Like in olive oil.
Yeah, can't take high.
Okay.
Goes rancid. Can become carcinogenic if
Oh,
it is
wow.
Indian food is cooked in that. Rancid, it can go rancid. So it's very important. But you to increase your HDL, good cholesterol, you can use olive oil to make your eggs, because eggs does not require very high temperature of cooking. Your Indian sabjis, you can make it in regular oil, and you can use little ghee on your chapati, etc.
Okay, so we need a lot of it. Actually, no, not a lot of it. Sorry, all of it.
All of
we need
it.
all of it. A little, little.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So let's do some never have I ever, okay? So never have I ever gulped down a whole tub of ice cream. Not
neither.
me.
Me neither. I can't do it. Even when I was pregnant, I never did it. But I am that person who will buy a dessert, keep it in the fridge, and every day go and have a small bite.
Oh.
Every day, because I'm so guilty to eat it all together.
Super control.
Yeah.
Never have I ever seen whole night a Netflix series.
Have you?
I'm guilty.
Are you serious? No,
Yeah.
me never.
Never? My God, I'm too bad then. So never have I ever been without fruits for a week.
I can't live without fruit for a day, so I need fruit.
Okay.
You?
Yes, I have been without fruits for a week.
Full week.
Full week.
No fruit.
Tina, what happens? Fruits have fructose, and my whole family is diabetic. So I'm so scared to eat too much fruits because I feel that they are high in sugar. So I always eat limited amounts.
Wow. I mean, this is something I'm trying, but I can never get to giving up fruit or reducing my fruit intake.
Never have I ever skipped breakfast. Never.
Wow. So I actually have been following intermittent fasting in a limited way, and this is something I do. And so I eat my lunch straight at 1 o'clock. Something I even do when I travel. It just helps me balance, because you don't know how much you're going to eat and what is the fat in the food when you're traveling. So I do IF when I travel, no matter what.
Not bad. So self-care, it's not that self-care vouches for IF, because we do believe sometimes it compromises your immunity, and especially people who suffer from you can actually lose muscle if you're following IF, because you have nothing in your tummy and you're exercising for 1 to 1.5 hours in the morning.
Okay.
So you're eating your own muscle. So your muscle mass actually goes down
Okay.
when you're on doing an IF. So of course, but we believe in 12-hour fasting.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have finished your dinner at 9, next meal can be only at 9 or 10 or at 11.
All right.
Not later and
12
not
to
before.
14.
Yeah, 12 maximum.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
So let's do some rapid fire, Tina. So, Tina, can you name some healthy snack options in the evening?
For the evening. So this is the most risky time, because sometimes you finish work and you want to eat the entire kitchen. Like, I'm so hungry, I've not eaten too much lunch. So I try to be very careful here. Eggs is the first option. If I can and I'm in the mood, then I'll have eggs, which is healthy. I also love having almond butter with a rice cake or a toast. It's yummy, and it's my favorite binge once, twice a week. Avocado toast once in a while. Khakra. We all love khakra. The
I
guju in me
know.
comes out with our chai. And yeah, these are my go-to. My son's cookies or my son's snack, which is full of butter. That's actually the worst thing to do at a birthday party. But sometimes you're so hungry, you want to eat it all.
Yeah, actually not bad. So, yeah, good options if you say egg and avocado toast and rice cakes and rice crackers and almond butter and khakra, quite healthy ones. I also almost go for these.
Okay.
So, Tina, is there someone you look up to in fitness world, industry?
So to be honest, I have grown up looking up to you for where you've reached, for what you've created, what you've done after having your children, because that gives a lot of women inspiration. Even being the healthy person you are, you always glow at the party even after a long work day. Your hair is perfect. I think it says a lot about the life you lead, and I realized
Aw.
that now when I got older. But back in the day, I've always looked up to you in all ways. So it's you,
Thank you.
and
Thank
even
you
the health,
so much.
the health tips you've taught me has got me where I am today. So thank you.
Thank you. Which are the 3 food you can eat every day for the rest of your life?
They have to be healthy.
No, please name anything.
Avocado, fish. I love fish. I love Japanese sushi, all of that. And parathas.
Oh,
Punjabi, kya karu?
good ones, very good ones. Yeah, you know, I eat paratha and anda every day,
Wow.
every breakfast.
Breakfast. Oh, yeah, wow. Good idea.
Thank you for watching this episode with us. This philosophy. We believe that wellness can be part of your life, part of your goal, along with your hectic work life. Yourself should be priority so that you can give best to the world, best to your family, best to your children. So that's what we have learned from Tina. And thank you, Tina, for being with us today. There's so much to learn from young girls, such entrepreneur moms like you in
Thank
today's
you.
world.
Thank you. I'm learning from the best. Thank you.